Plaintiff Val Caesar says he and the defendant grew up in the same neighborhood, and the two of them often got into trouble when they were younger. As they grew older, Val claims the defendant got into more serious trouble and even did some jail time, and he's suing him today for cell phone bills and a cancellation fee. Defendant Adam Rodriguez says although they grew up together, he feels Val was more pampered as a child because he was an only child. Adam admits that he spent time in jail for robbery and possession, and he insists he tried to pay the bill, but Val refused to give it to him.
Prove your case.
I've known Adam for over 15 years. We grew up together in the same neighborhood, and we went to the same high school. While we were younger, Adam and I used to ditch school together and go to his house and hang out because his house was known as the party spot. He lived a block away from the high school. As we got older, Adam and I drifted apart. Adam had got incarcerated while we were in high school, and as soon as Adam got out of jail, he was right back in for beating up his neighbor. With that said, I know Adam has been known to make some mistakes, and he's been known to screw people over, but still, he was my friend. He was there for me when I needed him.
So you're giving this background information because you're suggesting that he's irresponsible?
Yes, sir, and I was just suggesting that I should have known better than to trust him, knowing that he would do things like that.
Okay.
But nevertheless, he was there for me when I needed him.
Let me hear some background from you, sir.
He's right. We've known each other for a long time. But I think he was a little bit more pampered, even though we grew up in the same.
Pampered in what way?
You know, he was the only child. So he kind of had more given to him. I didn't have a party house. It's just my mom wasn't, she's only home about once a week. She worked a lot.
Oh, okay.
She worked a lot. But, you know, I ended up in the penitentiary when I was 18 for robbery. I did about 2.5 years. I got out, tried to get a job for about 2 years, didn't work out. Ended up going back in penitentiary.
For what?
This time possession. But see, due to my felonies, I couldn't really get jobs.
Did you consider going to school?
I did,
Community
but
college,
I just
trade
never.
school, university?
I got my GED in the penitentiary.
Right.
And I had a 2-year scholarship to go to Harold Washington with my GED, but
what?
I ended up working instead on the tugboat.
So I missed that
But I
part,
went back to the streets. I chose not to go to school.
Right there you go.
No.
Don't act like I couldn't get no job. Won't nobody hire ex-felon.
Wasn't that?
You know it's hard to get a job as an
People hire
ex-felon.
ex-felons, but not the type of people that pay my bills.
Oh, you need a need a job as a doctor? What
No, I've always had.
What do you want me to hire you as?
I've always had my own place, my own bill.
Oh, okay. And if you don't, then you go. If you don't, you go back on the street to commit a crime.
Right, and that's what I did. I went back to the penitentiary 2 times.
You think that's the right way?
No, but during the last
let me just
time-
ask you, what type of job would you have expected coming out of prison with a GED?
Now, I don't know back then.
Right.
But I know now, you know, I own my own business now.
So I hope, good, see, because you started working ultimately and you stuck it out until you got a decent job, right?
You know, it took a few times to realize what I needed to do.
Right. So
I'm a lot older now with a family. You know, I got 3 girls now.
Good.
So that's what I do now.
Good. And I hope that a lot of other ex-felons or those who are currently incarcerated on their way out, I hope they're listening to you because, you know, they come out thinking as you thought the first time that the world should roll out a red carpet, that they should be given the best opportunity and the best job. And if I don't get it, I'm going to go back onto the street. Well, you see where that lands you.
Takes time sometimes.
Right. It takes time. I go to prisons all the time. I've spoken to 6 prisons in the last 12 months. And each one, I speak to the young men and I tell them that there's incremental success you have to take. You can't look at the big picture when you come out. I didn't come out of jail and say, whoa, I'm about to practice law.
Right.
It was a long road. It was just as you did, GED. Then it was bachelor's degree, law degree. They held my law degree up for 3 years because of my record. I didn't go back to the street. I didn't punk out. I went and fought back until I won my law license because they were not supposed to deny me if I served the sentence that I had received, saying that it would come off of my record. I completed my sentence. It came off my record, but the state bar said, we don't care if it came off of your record. We're still not going to allow you to practice law. Well, I didn't run back. I fought back and went to the state Supreme Court and won my right because I was right and I didn't give up. And so it's incremental success. 1, you start here. 2, you get a trade. 3, you get the whatever type of job you can get. You get 3 of them. Now, you put 3 jobs together, that might enable you to live the type of life you want. Get you 3 minimum wage jobs. What's that? $7.50, $7.50, $7.50? What's that like? Then you'll be making $22 an hour. Go ahead. And we've gotten off the subject, but I think it's important that since we're talking about this, I believe it's important for guys who are incarcerated, who watch me a lot, oddly enough. When I go to these prisons, they all stand up and give me a standing ovation. I say, this is the first time felons have given a judge a standing ovation. Usually they want to do something to the judge. So obviously, you know, I'm doing something right, and the prisoners admire that. And so if you all admire me, then follow me. Don't clap for me, follow me. All right, now let's get to your unpaid cell phone bill that you're suing him for. At some point, you got him a cell phone.
Yes, sir.
When?
On January 2010, sir, I had called Adam and told him about this promotion that Sprint was having. Mm-hmm. And he took on to it, and we went down to Best Buy and we got us some phones because he said his girlfriend had wanted a cell phone. And so I bought my girl one for Christmas. I got myself one, and he tried to get his girlfriend one, but he couldn't get it because of his credit. He had to put down a $100 down deposit. So me being the nice guy that I am, I said, well, okay, Adam, if you're gonna agree to pay your bill monthly, then I'm gonna go ahead and put this third line on my account, but you'd have to pay your bill on time so that it doesn't go on my credit. He agreed to it, and he chose the $100 a month plan. And this was in January. From January until now, he hasn't paid anything towards that.
Not a dime.
Yeah.
Not a dime?
Nothing.
And the cancellation fee?
The cancellation fee is $200, Your Honor. So in order to get him off my bill, I'd have to pay $200. Either
to
that,
cancel him.
To cancel him. If not, I'd just have to go through this every month with him.
I tried several times to pay him.
How?
First of all, he cut the...
Think he just didn't want the money?
No, it wasn't that. It wasn't that.
What?
I never seen the bill.
How did you try and pay him without seeing the bill?
See, the first time I called Sprint. Mm-hmm. And Sprint couldn't give me my individual line bill. They would give me all 3 because my name wasn't on the account. They said I needed a password to get my individual bill.
Okay.
I called his witness. She said she didn't have the password. But I know she had the password because the night before.
Stand up, ma'am. State your name.
Tammy Props.
Did he call you about paying?
He had called me, but as I stated to him, do not go to the machine in the store because it will ask you for
Well, at least
password.
it indicates he was trying to pay.
All right, she didn't tell me that. She said she didn't.
Whatever it is, whatever you all discussed, I'm convinced that you were trying to pay if you called her.
That's not true, Your Honor,
What's not true?
You don't need a password to go
Why
pay
do you
a
think
phone
he was
bill.
calling then, sir?
He called her and just to say that he was going to pay the bill, but essentially he never made an
She
attempt.
said he called to ask about.
My witness was there.
Asked me about as far as okay, I want to go to the store to pay the bill, but they're asking me for a passcode. I said, don't go to the machine.
Sir, you said he didn't call to find out.
No, I'm
how
saying
to pay.
he didn't attempt to pay the bill because
He
you don't
called
need the
to find
passcode.
out about paying it, sir.
And she told him what he had to do, and
No,
he didn't even do it.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah,
So
she
you
didn't
think he
tell
was
me.
just calling to waste her time?
He was calling to make it seem like he was trying to pay the bill, sir.
Well, I was just trying to get an understanding of
My
whether.
witness was there when I made the
Come
call.
on up. State your name.
My name is Jasmine Brown.
What do you want to tell me?
He called them to try to pay the bill, and she said she didn't have the passcode because he called on the phone to try to pay the bill, and they only gave him all 3 amounts, and he only wanted the one individual line.
And sir, I don't know why this man would go out of his way to try and defraud you by making these calls. He just doesn't answer. That's all. He just doesn't pay it. You don't have to call you and say, what's the code? I'm calling you so I can act like I want to pay it.
But he didn't need the code though, because
Have a
I
seat,
told
man.
him.
Have a seat. Thank you. Thank you. I'm trying to suggest that he was trying to pay it. Otherwise, he would not have been inquiring. And you believe you owe something, right?
I believe I owe something, but
Well, I'm going to take his word that it's $575. However, I'm not granting you cancellation fees because cancellation fees would be granted if this man refused and had no intention of paying you. I'm not convinced of that. Have a good day. Judgment for the plaintiff.
It's still cool. We just won't be getting any contract phones anymore together.
nah, this is my friend. He's always gonna be my friend.